Hello everyone, and welcome to Noodle Journey, your destination for detailed and informative reviews of the instant noodle universe. Today's review is something I've wanted to try for years, and now I finally have some. This is Indomie Goreng Rasa Rendang. Before we get started, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to help this channel out. Now, I love Indomie products, and this one has eluded me for a long time. If you find yourself in Indonesia, these are obviously very easy to come by. And I have seen lots of Australian websites selling these and lots of other Indomie products that we don't get here in the States. If this review piques your interest and you want to score these, check out eBay or make an online friend somewhere that these are sold. What stinks is that from what I can find, this used to be included in Indomie's assortment of exports to the USA. And for some reason, that stopped happening several years back. And now the main reason I'm so fascinated by this is I've never had rendang before. And I should mention, the word rasa here just means flavor, so rendang flavor. But what is rendang? It's a spicy beef dish that I hope I'm pronouncing correctly that originated in West Sumatra. Beef is braised in a spiced coconut milk broth until the liquid evaporates and the beef becomes caramelized. And Wikipedia says that while many people describe rendang as a curry, technically that's not correct since the majority of the liquid gets absorbed or cooked off. Now, I'm not going to assume that I'll get all of that slow-cooked beef goodness in this pack of noodles, but still, I love trying new foods, especially something as appealing as a spicy beef almost curry. And inside this pack, we've got 1,100 milligrams of sodium, but you may have noticed that this is a jumbo-sized bag, which I am really appreciative for. My only big complaint about Indomie has always been how small the portions are. We don't really get the jumbo packs in the US that I've ever found, so this is great. Inside the pack, we've got a larger block of Indomie noodles than I've ever seen before, which did unfortunately not survive international shipping in one piece. And we have multiple seasoning packets, which is the norm for Indomie mee goreng products. We've got kecap manis, which is the name of the sweet soy sauce concoction that you get in mee goreng usually. We have a seasoning oil, seasoning powder, chili powder, and a very interesting packet of dried toppings. Now, I'm relying on Google Translate for all of this, but this does appear to be vegan. It is certified halal, and the beef flavor in here is artificial. So all told, you got some very familiar mee goreng flavors with rendang spices, and the dried toppings packet is a textured vegetable protein that's been marinated in a flavoring oil. So this all looks great. Let me get these noodles cooked, and I'll be right back to assemble the seasoning. All right, now while the noodles boil for 3 minutes, we're going to assemble all the seasoning in the bowl, which is typical of how mee goreng instructions go. And the best way to avoid making a mess with the liquid packets is just to use some scissors. All right, so we've got the sweet soy sauce in there along with the seasoning oil, which is spicy and very chili forward, but also with a hit of citrus to it, which I really wasn't expecting. Really good. Now it's time for the seasoning powder. Interesting. Very sweet blend of definitely coconut and some curry spices. Let's do the chili powder here. Smells just like a pretty straightforward peppery seasoning blend. Kind of close to what's in mee goreng hot and spicy, if not the exact same thing. And we're going to save this textured vegetable protein garnish for the very end. Now this gets a quick stir, and the noodles are almost done. I will go get them and put them in here. All right, and if you've never seen mee goreng assembled before, this is how it goes. Cook the noodles for 3 minutes, drain them, have all your seasonings mixed together, and then you stir it all up like this. And then eventually, all your noodles are coated, And this is what it looks like. So now let's get these little soy balls in here. Once again, kind of a whiff of that seasoning oil with a spicy citrus aroma to it. And I can honestly say I've never seen anything like this before. So I'm guessing the intention here with the soy protein is to mimic caramelized beef flakes. And yeah, they're crunchy and tasty. All right, let's try this all together and get to the review. That's cool. What an interesting assortment of spices, wow. All right, so starting off with the noodle score, typical Indomie noodles, thin, hearty, decent chew, a good amount of them thanks to them being in the jumbo bag. 7 out of 10 for the Indomie noodles. As far as the spice level is concerned, it's maybe on par with the mee goreng hot and spicy variety, a little hotter than the regular and the barbecue chicken ones, still kind of on the low end of what I would consider a medium spice, so I'm going to call it a 4 out of 10 on the spice scale. It's a pleasant little burn. So let's talk about the flavor here because I wasn't sure what to expect out of this, and I know if you've never had this dish before, you're probably wondering what I'm tasting. It's a really interesting blend of spices, and I'm pretty sure I love it. There's that citrus element I tasted already, which might be lime or lemongrass or both. It's got that artificial beef powder giving it a really savory umami element. And then as far as flavors, we've got coconut and some of the less bitter spices that you would find in an Asian curry. So I'm getting what I think is maybe cinnamon and cardamom, not cumin. There's possibly something else sweet in there like anise or fennel. But yeah, so it's coming across as a really neat blend of savory, spicy, and sweet. And I've had quite a wide variety of spice blends on this channel at this point, but I've never quite had anything like this. And it's really tasty. I like the extra crunch from these little vegetable protein chunks in here. It gives it a really nice texture. I think once the camera's off, I'm also going to put some fried garlic and shallot in this. I'm just ruminating on the flavor. I'm just going to have another quick bite here and make sure I'm not missing anything. There's also possibly mint in this. It's hard to say. Whatever this is, it's a really unique combination of spices. It's got a nice texture. My only usual complaint about Indomie is the size of the bag. Since this was a jumbo, I can't even dock points for that. So I guess the only complaint I have is this isn't something I would probably want to eat as frequently as some of the other Indomie flavors, but all in all, what a solid product. 9.5 out of 10 as an overall score for me. I really wish I had another bag of this for a future meal, but sadly that was my only one. All right, this is a really cool flavor. If you like mee goreng already, if you like the variety of spices that I described, or are just really curious and love the idea of this, you should probably find a way to buy it. eBay is probably your best bet. Please don't pay too much for this stuff. It's a shame that Indomie doesn't send this to the USA anymore. But if you can find it for a good bargain, I think this is a great flavor that deserves to be experienced by everyone. And with that, I'm going to turn off the camera, throw a couple extra toppings in this, and finish it for my lunch. I haven't decided what those toppings are yet, but I'll see what I've got in the fridge. In the meantime, if you've tried this, let me know what you think. And if there's other Indonesian varieties from Indomie that you'd like me to get my hands on, please let me know in the comments. I do have some more from my contact in Southeast Asia that I'm going to be reviewing very soon, but this was the one I wanted to start with, and I have no regrets about that at all. Thanks for watching. I hope I'll see you on the next episode of Noodle Journey.